right, y'all, welcome back and happy Saturday. This is the last video like this that we're going to be doing heading into fall camp. This is going to be Tennessee's tight ends and quarterbacks. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So starting off with our tight ends, the average blue chip ratio is 60%. The average class is a sophomore. Average size is 6'5", 241. For the NFL, the average size is about 6'5", 250. So we're in a good spot for college, but man, let me tell y'all something. This room is loaded. It's very talented. It's the most talented room of tight ends that Coach Heupel has had at Tennessee, and he loves his tight ends. We ran so much 12 personnel last season. This year, I think that we'll start it off that way. It might start to dwindle down, but we'll still use these guys the way that we like it, with like Princeton Fant using these guys as gadget pieces and things like that. But Miles Kittleman, he's a veteran. You know, he's one of the leaders on this whole team, not just in this room. Love his game. Almost prototype size. You know, pretty much, well, yeah, I would call that prototype size. He can run the routes. He's going to be physical. Just everything that you're looking for, he definitely has that. I think that after this year, he will get drafted. But Ethan Davis, okay, people aren't talking enough about Ethan Davis. He's a stud, okay? He can run the routes. He's exactly what the NFL teams are looking for. After this year, I expect him to get picked within those first 3 rounds. He's one of those types of guys. I think he's going to have a breakout season. I've asked since he's been here, can he be physical? I'm not asking that no more. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Him and Kit, they're like best friends, so he's going to be great. And then I think that Jack Van Dorselaer is probably going to be tight end number 3 for us. Now, Kit, I think that he will start week 1, just to let y'all know. But Jack, he's going to get plenty of playing time versus Syracuse. Love his size, love his skill set. Very, very physical player, but also can run the routes, make the catches. He's another gadget piece. Braham is probably like the most, or he probably will be the most utilized gadget piece for us in 2025. Love his game too. And then we also have Cole Harrison, who might be the best route runner out of all these guys. Watching his high school film, you can tell he's very, very well coached. And I'm excited to see what these guys do. So there is some youth, but I'm not even worried about it, y'all. Like, I don't care who they roll out there. This tight end room is elite. So let's take a look at some of their stats from last season versus the rest of the SEC. And we'll start off, where should we start? So let's start with targets. All right, so with targets, Tennessee was 9th. We had 69 targets. Now, if you look at Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, we're close with all these teams. We all run very similar styles of offense. Ole Miss and Mississippi State will be the closest to how Tennessee runs. It really, Mississippi State is going to be the absolute closest. But there's some things that Oklahoma does differently than what we did last season. But we'll be adding that to our, overall package in 2025. So for those reasons, I could definitely see Tennessee moving up this list with targets. I think it will be somewhere around 75 targets for our tight ends. As far as catches last season, Tennessee was 8th. What about yards? Tennessee was at 8 as well. And yards per catch, Tennessee was at number 9. And with touchdowns, Tennessee was all the way up here at number 3. We do a great job using our tight ends in that red area. I don't think that that's going to slow down in 2025. What else do we have right here? So first downs, this is huge for tight ends because I think a lot of the first downs that you get passing-wise will probably come from your tight ends. That's where the quarterbacks tend to look at. So we were at number 7 right here with 33 first downs, and I think that that number is going to be going up in 2025 also. Drops, this is not a good category for sure, or it's not good if you're way up on that list. So we're going to reorganize this based off of the least drops to the most. Tennessee's at number 9 right here. We got to do better. So 4 drops. I think that with Miles and with Ethan Davis being older, 1 more year in this system, yes, it's a different quarterback. I think that they won't have as many drops, but I'm not saying that all those drops came from them. But I know that I want to say that maybe Miles had 2. He might have had 3 last season, but I think that we'll be fine with that. You know, I'm not too concerned. Let's look at some of these other categories. What about contested catches? Okay, so contested catches, Tennessee's at number 9. We only had 4 of those. So this could be based off a scheme, y'all. You don't really want guys having too many of those, honestly speaking, because what it means is teams are sitting on what you like to do. But at the same time, y'all just saw that we had 4 drops last season. Those drops all came in tight coverage. So we need to do better from that standpoint. Could it take a step forward? I think yes. And then yards after catch, where's Tennessee at? So we're at number 12. This number is going to skyrocket for us. So we're averaging 4.5 yards after the catch. With the types of playmakers that we have inside of that room this year, y'all, I think that we should be top 5. So this is a huge part of what Tennessee likes to do. That's no secret. And I think that it's just going to be, basically taking some steps forward in 2025. Now, let's talk about Tennessee's quarterback room. I know that this is what y'all all pretty much have been waiting on. The blue chip ratio here is at 66%. Average size is 6'4", 212. So for NFL quarterbacks, I think it's like 6'2" and some change, close to 6'3", but 220 pounds. Really, the overall average is really coming down based off of GMAC. he's just a freshman. I'm not worried about it. He looks like he's really already gained weight. I think he might be bigger than 195 at this point, so hopefully so. And then average class is a sophomore. So I think that like the average class of this whole team is at a sophomore. That's a good spot. That means that you've got some good vets, but you've also got that youth, and we're kind of hopefully holding on to players. But I think that Joey Aguilar heading into fall camp will more than likely be getting that start coming out of fall camp. If you're looking at who's getting those first team reps, it's got to be Joey first. But also, and maybe not even on day one. It might actually be Merck on day one, just because he's already been inside of this system. But I do think that Joey Aguilar will win that job, but you can't sleep on Merck, because it feels like he's not happy that people are just picking Joey Aguilar. So it's a good thing to have this sort of a battle, as long as it doesn't break up Tennessee's locker room. And I think that if GMAC, if he's up over like 210, like I said previously, I could definitely see him being one of the players that you got to look out for, because he might be the most talented overall player in this room. But let's go on ahead and take a look at some of these stats. And we're going to spend some more time on this in this video, because I want to just kind of, have some fun with it. I want to show y'all how Joey Aguilar's team and how Joey Aguilar measures up versus Nico and versus Tennessee, obviously, in some of these categories. So while we're going through this, we'll look at how Tennessee stacks up versus the rest of the SEC, but also talk about where App State was at. So in the first category, let's take a look at the completion percentage. I think that it's the first place that we need to start. So Tennessee, and this is with all of Tennessee's quarterbacks, it's not just Nico, this is with all these teams' quarterbacks. So we were at number 6, okay? We're at 61.3%. And App State is down here at number 16 at 52.7%. Passing yards, Tennessee's at number 10 right here, all right? And App State is right up under us at 3,014 yards. And then passing yards per attempt, Tennessee's at number 8. Where is App State at? I'm going to scroll this up. And so App State is down here at 7.1 yards. So understand something, y'all, that this stuff can be based on scheme so much. It can be based off of how much do you run the football versus how much do you pass. Tennessee's a run-first team. I think App State was maybe they were more balanced than what Tennessee was. I think they were probably still run-first. I don't know. I really haven't even checked those numbers, honestly, but they were probably still more like run-first, but not as much as Tennessee was. So understand that. But I think that Tennessee's going to, hopefully this season, go up in all of these categories for several reasons that we'll talk about in just a second. Now, passing touchdowns. Tennessee's at number 7. App State was at number 6. So that's a pretty decent spot for us, because, again, Tennessee is a pass-first team. Or, I'm sorry, we are a run-first team. Now, interceptions. Let's do it based off of the least to the most. So Tennessee's right here at number 5. I think that our system does a good job of maybe helping the quarterbacks not to throw picks. So hopefully that'll help us out in 2025 with all these new quarterbacks. So let's see, where's App State at? App State is way down here at the bottom, and we all know that they had some problems with those interceptions. What about sacks? This one's pretty interesting. This could also be, based off of the scheme. Tennessee likes to try to throw the football down the field. It typically does take our routes longer to get open, especially recently, because defenses have been sitting on what Tennessee likes to do. So let's understand that. But also, the biggest thing is going to be, how's the offensive line doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's what this is really looking at. But Tennessee's at number 7. And actually, let me reorganize this and do it this way. Yeah, so looking at least to most, App State had the least sacks, only 14 last year. Tennessee gave up 34 sacks, so we were way down on that list. That has to get better, and I think that will get better. As far as scrambles, Tennessee's at number 4, so we scrambled 57 times. And App State, they scrambled as a team 30 times. So just Joey Aguilar, right? Again, it's not just Joey, but with him personally, he's not a run-first guy. He wants to pass the football. If he's moving around, it's to try to throw the football down the field. That's his game. And then average time to throw. This is also like scheme stuff. It could be based off of the quarterback. Let me organize this from least to most. So App State, it only took them 2.6 seconds to throw the football after the snap. That's about where you want to be. Their offensive system versus Tennessee system, it is totally different. Now, there are some things that App State does, or that App State did last year that Tennessee is going to be doing this year, which I think will help Joey Aguilar out. But it's a whole lot of quick game stuff. Tennessee, like we said, is going to take more time. So we were at, 2.97 seconds. I think that Hendon Hooker, back in 2022, I want to say that he was at maybe like 267 or 271. It was something like that. So he would have been higher up on this list. Like I said, man, the way the defenses played us, we had to hold on to the football longer. Some of it was on the quarterback, but I just want for y'all to get that understood, that it's the scheme thing that gives me the most confidence about our quarterback room moving forward. All right, so what else do we have? Let's see. So quarterback rating, okay. As a team, Tennessee was at number 6, 93.9. This is based off of the NFL quarterback ratings. And App State is down here at the very, very bottom, 69.6. So that doesn't look good at all. And then this column here, y'all, this is going to show you what the accuracy would have been like without drops. So Tennessee is right here at number 7, 70.7%, which is pretty good. Obviously, I mean, that could be better. I think that the highest that it was with Coach Heupel might have been at like 72 or 73%. So not too much higher than what it was. And then down here, we can see the App State, 61.4%. Now let's look at the real true accuracy. So this is just showing like ball placement, right? Like that's what this is talking about. Just strictly ball placement. Tennessee's actually at number 3 here. I'm sure that they're probably shocked some people, but 64.5%. So that's a big deal. I think that really Tennessee's one of our biggest issues was, like I said, scheme, how defenses played us, but also our wide receivers really just didn't help us out too much. And then App State is down here at the very, very bottom. Now, this last column, y'all, this is basically just showing how much of the yards came from how the quarterback threw it or just came from how far the football traveled. Okay, so App State's number 1 here. That means that with all the yards that they had last season, with Joey Aguilar being the starter, he was the main reason for it. Okay, so that is a very, very positive sign. Tennessee actually is at number 3. So I'm sorry, Tennessee's at number 4. But if it was just SEC teams, Tennessee would be at number 3. So that's how things look from that standpoint. Now let's look at things. Let's look at these individual players. And this is just with deep passes. So passes of 30 yards or more. On this one, of course, we're going to be looking at, what we did versus the SEC. But more so, I want for y'all to see the numbers with Joey Aguilar versus Nico. This is just for y'all because I know that people always talk about this. So let's take a look at how many passes were actually thrown. All right. Joey Aguilar, he was second right here. He had 42 passes thrown. And then Nico, he had 34 passes thrown. So he's down at, 6th. And then, the actual passes that were thrown and caught. We've got Joey Aguilar's right here with 12. So he's at number 2, or he's tied at number 2 with 3 other programs. But I think that looks good. And then Nico, he's down here at, I guess tied at number 7 with 9. Okay. So as far as completion percentage, all right, let's see where we at. So Joey Aguilar, he's right here at 28.6%. Nico's at 26.5%. Now, these numbers are going to look a little bit different as we move further. All right, so passing yards, we'll also look at this. Joey Aguilar's up here at 581. Okay, so I think that looks good. Nico's at 460. Of course, those things will correlate to how many times did you actually throw it deep, how many drops, so on and so forth. Passing touchdowns, this one's going to be pretty big. Let's see where we at. So Joey Aguilar, okay, he had 5 passing touchdowns with passes over 30 yards. Nico, he had 3 interceptions. And we're going to organize this from least to most. Let's see. So Nico's right here at number 5, and he only threw 1 interception. And then, of course, Joey's down here with 3. So he's tied for like last place. The sacks really don't matter. I don't think that the scrambles really matter. The average time to throw shouldn't matter in any of this. It's just about once the ball came out, how were things looking? So NFL passer rating, okay? Same thing that we just looked at previously. Nico was at number 8, so 96.3. And then Joey Aguilar is right here at number 10, 89. So not too far off, but there is a difference there. And then this is the column that shows you how things look, just as far as the accuracy if you take those drops out. So Nico, he was right here at 38.2% on passes of 30 yards or more, which is good for 6th place. And then Joey Aguilar, where is Joey Aguilar? Here he is. He's at number 12. So he was at 30.9%. So there is a difference there, obviously. And what else do we have in here? So let's look at the true accuracy here. Look at how this is. So Nico is actually number 2, 48.3%. And DJ Lagway is number 1 at 55.6%. And where is Joey? Joey's down here at number 15 at 22.9%. So again, that is just talking about ball placement. It's talking about how the coverage was. Did you throw it basically to the only spot that your wide receiver could make the catch and that it wouldn't get batted down or intercepted? That's what that means. And then the last one is going to be the air percentage, which really, and this one shouldn't mean too much, but we will look at it anyway. So Joey Aguilar's up here at number 6 at about 84 almost 85%, which I think is great. And then Nico is right here at 78.7%, all the way down at number 13. So his playmakers weren't making as many plays for him in those types of situations. But what do all those things mean, right? Almost nothing, honestly speaking. Like, it doesn't mean too much just because they played in two totally different systems. Like, if you're just talking about how they operated last year versus, what's going to happen this year. The only thing is, Tennessee's system, like we said, it has some difficulties to it, right? Like, if you're playing a quarterback, and that's really only if teams have figured out how to slow down what we do, because it's so simple. So it's good because Joey Aguilar comes in. I think that he learns this system very easily. Okay. It's almost like on an eighth grade level. If you play eighth grade football, you can learn Tennessee's system as a quarterback. You also have to have a very strong arm. Does Joey Aguilar have that? I'd say 100%. Is it as strong as some quarterbacks that we've had previously? No, but he throws with great touch, just like Hendon Hooker did. Hendon Hooker was a touch passer. I would say that Joe Milton and Nico were more like just pure, just like strong arm talent. You know what I mean? So I think that it actually works better. I think that Hendon Hooker and Joey Aguilar probably throw more catchable balls than either Nico or than Joe Milton. That should be like net positive for Tennessee. But also, just like looking at some of the things that that Joey Aguilar did playing at App State, they ran a lot of pistol. There was a lot of like pro style elements. There was a lot of like drags and slants and spot up routes, things that Tennessee hasn't done too much of. He's going to be acclimated to doing those things probably better than the quarterbacks that we already have. And again, our system is pretty easy. He's going to be able to pick that up. He's been throwing with wide receivers all summer long. Sounds like he's been looking good, as well as those other quarterbacks. So I'm just saying all these things just to say that this is going to work out for us, okay? I don't think that it too much matters who the quarterback is. The interceptions problems with Joey Aguilar, I think he's going to get that cleaned up with our system, hopefully. Not saying that it's going to be as clean as it was with some of the previous quarterbacks. I think that some of it is just Joey. He's a gunslinger. He's going to throw it up in the covers. That's just who he is. But I think that it will be minimized enough that this offense can operate down the field and he can keep us moving. Like I said, man, Tennessee probably is going to run a whole lot of 12 personnel to start the season off. Let the quarterbacks get acclimated, find their confidence. And once they get their stride, then all of a sudden we can really open things up, spread the field out more. But with that tempo, Tennessee can go really, really wide and then, bunch things up, go from like that shotgun look to that pistol look where everything totally changes. And that's the answer. That's the answer for what Tennessee saw last year. That's, again, the biggest problem that we had. We now have the answer to it, and we have the quarterback that ran that sort of a system. And I feel great about the whole deal, So things should work out for us, man. This is a situation that I know heading into fall camp, everyone's going to be talking about quarterbacks, quarterbacks. I think that Tennessee will be fine. As a matter of fact, I think that we'll be great. I see us putting up, I hate to say 2022 numbers, but I could very easily, just because I don't see a way for you to stop it. We have so many weapons, running that tempo, getting back to it where teams don't really know what's coming. Running some easier routes, more three-step drops is easier on the offensive line, which should also be better. It's all just coming full circle. We got a stable of backs that are young, that are hungry, that are dogs. I mean, everything's there for this offense. So we will be able to help out, whoever the quarterback is, so that everything's not on their shoulders. I don't think that Tennessee's offense or this team goes as far as our quarterback takes us. I sincerely don't. Can they manage games? Can they keep us out of trouble? And can they make some plays, whenever we need them to? I feel like all of our guys could probably do that, but whoever does it the absolute best will be getting that start in week 1. But those are my thoughts. Please share yours down in that comment section. And as always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be talking to y'all tomorrow. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.